It's the rumor that's been spreading like wildfire in the Heartland fandom is Amber Marshall, the actress who has played Amy Fleming for nearly 2 decades, really splitting from her husband, Shawn Turner. Fans have been buzzing, social media has been lighting up, and whispers have turned into full-blown debates. But where did this sudden storm come from? And is there any truth to it? Today, we're pulling back the curtain to uncover the real story behind the headlines and give you the facts, not just the gossip. Amber Marshall isn't just another actress. She's the beating heart of Heartland, a show that has become a global comfort watch for millions. Since her debut on the series in 2007, viewers have grown up with her character, Amy Fleming, watching her face every challenge with resilience and grace. Over the years, Amber's off-screen life has also attracted attention, especially after she married Shawn Turner in 2013. Their relationship seemed like a country romance brought to life, the city girl turned rancher, living in the quiet beauty of Alberta with horses, dogs, and a life far removed from the Hollywood spotlight. Part of Amber's charm has always been her ability to keep her personal life private. Unlike many celebrities who share every detail online, Amber has always struck a careful balance. She gives fans glimpses into her life, a picture with her animals, a moment on set, but she's never been one to post every date night or personal milestone. While this privacy has helped her maintain a peaceful life, it has also, at times, sparked speculation. The divorce rumors started subtly. Fans noticed that Amber and Shawn hadn't been photographed together in recent months. On Instagram, Shawn's appearances seemed fewer, and people began asking questions in the comments. A few gossip blogs picked up on the chatter, spinning it into insider claims without presenting real proof. Then came the theories maybe the couple had grown apart, maybe the pressures of fame had taken their toll. Some even linked the rumors to Amber's busy filming schedule for Heartland Season 19, suggesting long periods apart might be causing strain. But the thing about celebrity rumors is that once they start, they grow quickly, often without any concrete evidence. One speculative tweet can turn into a dozen blog posts, which then spread across fan pages and YouTube videos. Before long, the story feels real simply because so many people are repeating it. That's exactly what seems to have happened here. Fans love Amber, and they feel connected to her, so any hint of change in her personal life becomes a hot topic. The problem is, without facts, it's all just talk. And when it comes to Amber and Shawn, the truth is far less dramatic than the headlines make it seem. Amber Marshall's relationship with Shawn Turner has always stood out because it never followed the usual Hollywood love story blueprint. There was no whirlwind romance splashed across tabloid covers or red carpet debut with flashing cameras. Instead, their love began quietly, away from the glare of the spotlight, and was rooted in the simple, authentic values they both share. Amber, already known for her role as Amy Fleming on Heartland, was building her career and spending her days surrounded by horses and open skies. Shawn, meanwhile, was living a life far removed from showbiz, focusing on his own passions, particularly photography and his love for the outdoors. The two first crossed paths in Alberta, Canada, the very same province where Heartland is filmed. It wasn't some grand setup, but more of a chance meeting that turned into something special. From the beginning, Shawn wasn't the type to be starstruck by Amber fame. Instead, he saw the person beyond the television role, and that grounded approach became the foundation of their relationship. Their shared love for animals, country living, and the slower pace of rural life made their connection natural and unforced. By 2012, their relationship had blossomed into a deep partnership. When they decided to get married in 2013, they opted for a private ranch wedding instead of a flashy, celebrity-style event. Amber wore a simple but beautiful gown, and the ceremony reflected who they were as a couple: intimate, down to earth, and focused on the people and values that mattered most to them. The couple made their home in Alberta, on a ranch where they care for horses, chickens, dogs, and a variety of other animals. This life wasn't just a photo opportunity, it was the real thing. Amber often described their lifestyle as a perfect balance between work and peace, with Heartland giving her a creative outlet and the ranch offering her a sense of grounding. Shawn, unlike many celebrity spouses, never sought the public eye. He rarely appeared at events unless they were personal milestones or important Heartland occasions. This wasn't because he was hiding, it was simply because he preferred a quieter life. In fact, this low-profile nature is part of why rumors can so easily swirl. When someone is rarely seen, people start to wonder. But for Amber and Shawn, it was never about putting on a public show. Their marriage existed in the moments the cameras didn't capture: early mornings feeding animals, working on the ranch together, or taking quiet rides on horseback through the Alberta countryside. Fans who have followed Amber for years know that she has often spoken about how important it is to protect her personal life. She believes that some things are more special when they're kept between the people involved, and she's never felt the need to prove her marriage to the public. This is one of the reasons her and Shawn's relationship has endured for more than a decade. It's built on shared work, mutual respect, and a deep understanding of each other's need for space and independence. Yet, this same privacy that protects their love is also what makes them a target for speculation. When you don't give the public constant updates, the gaps get filled with guesses, theories, and in some cases, complete fabrications. Still, those who know their story understand that Amber and Shawn have always been about substance over appearances. Their relationship isn't measured in Instagram posts or public declarations, it's measured in the quiet, everyday choices they make to support one another. The spark that lit the fuse on the Amber Marshall and Shawn Turner divorce rumors wasn't a dramatic announcement or an insider leak, it was silence. In today's world, where people expect constant updates on social media, even a small gap in public appearances can start a wildfire of speculation. For Amber and Shawn, that gap began when fans noticed a subtle change in Amber's Instagram feed. She was still posting behind-the-scenes shots from Heartland, pictures of her animals, updates from her ranch, but Shawn was noticeably absent from her recent uploads. It wasn't the first time he'd been missing from her posts. But this time, the absence stretched on for months. A few fans began asking innocent questions in the comments. "Where's Shawn?" Or "Haven't seen a picture of you two lately." Soon, others joined in, and before long, small whispers turned into assumptions. Social media thrives on patterns, and when people think they've spotted one, they start building stories around it. Around the same time, Heartland Season 19 filming kicked into high gear. Amber's schedule became more demanding, with long days on set and promotional duties filling her calendar. For those looking for clues, this busy season added fuel to the fire. Some fans began suggesting that the long hours and time apart could be putting a strain on the marriage. Others linked her filming schedule with Shawn's private work life, theorizing that their commitments might have pulled them in different directions. The next push came from gossip blogs and YouTube channels that thrive on celebrity drama. Few noticed the fan chatter and decided to run with it, framing their headlines to sound like confirmed news. Titles like "Amber Marshall's Marriage in Trouble" or "Heartland Star's Mysterious Silence About Husband" began popping up. The articles themselves often contained nothing more than speculation, but the headlines spread quickly across fan groups, where people were eager to share and discuss them. Then came the evidence hunting phase, where fans combed through Amber interviews and public appearances looking for signs of trouble. If she wasn't wearing her wedding ring in a certain photo, it became a talking point. If she attended an event alone, it was seen as suspicious. Even the most innocent things like Shawn simply choosing to stay home during a public outing were recast as signs of a deeper issue. The problem with this kind of rumor cycle is that once people start searching for confirmation, they'll find something to fit the narrative, whether it's real or not. What's important to remember is that Shawn has always kept a very low profile. He's not active on public social media, rarely attends public events, and doesn't seek out the spotlight. His absence online isn't new, it's been the norm since the day they married. But in a digital culture where constant visibility is treated as proof of stability, his quiet lifestyle became an easy target for misinterpretation. It also didn't help that Heartland fans have a deep emotional connection to Amber on-screen life. Her marriage to Ty on the show, and the heartbreak that followed his character's death, made many viewers feel protective over her happiness. When there's a perceived threat to her real-life marriage, Even if it's just a rumor, fans rally and speculate as though it's part of the show's storyline. This blurred line between fiction and reality makes it easier for gossip to gain traction. By this point, the story had snowballed. What began as a few curious fan comments had transformed into a circulating rumor with hundreds of posts, dozens of videos, and an audience ready to believe something was wrong. And yet, despite all the noise, there was still no actual confirmation, no statement from Amber, no credible report from trusted outlets, and no direct sign that their marriage was in trouble. But in the world of online celebrity culture, sometimes the absence of information becomes a story in itself. The truth behind the Amber Marshall and Shawn Turner divorce rumors is far less dramatic than the headlines make it seem. When you cut through the noise, the evidence fueling the gossip starts to look flimsy at best. Amber has never publicly confirmed any trouble in her marriage, and in fact, certain moments over the past year suggest that the relationship remains as steady as ever, just private, as it's always been. One of the biggest things to understand is that Amber and Shawn have always kept their relationship away from constant public view. They don't live stream their lives, post daily couple selfies, or update fans about every personal detail. This isn't new behavior. It's been their way from the very beginning. They married on their own terms, in a private ranch ceremony, in 2013, and they've maintained that same sense of privacy for more than a decade. To them, love doesn't require a social media audience, and marriage isn't a performance for fans. Recent glimpses into Amber's life also contradict the idea of a broken marriage. While she may not post photos of Shawn regularly, she has referenced we when talking about life on the ranch or caring for animals, language that quietly confirms they are still a team. Friends and colleagues from Heartland have also described her as happy and focused, with no sign of personal turmoil behind the scenes. And if you look closely, you can still spot subtle indicators: a shared project on their property, a mention of something Shawn built or fixed, or a comment about us in interviews. These may seem small, but they add up to a bigger picture of a couple still living their life together. Another important point is timing. The rumors began during one of Amber's busiest filming schedules for Heartland in recent years. Season 19 has been especially demanding, with multiple location shoots, new cast members, and heavier promotional work. Anyone with a job that requires long hours and travel knows that it can limit how much time you spend at home and, in turn, how much you appear in each other's photos. For Amber, it's simply a matter of balancing her work with her personal life, not proof of a marriage crisis. It's also worth noting how damaging these rumors can be. When false narratives spread, they not only affect the celebrity but also their loved ones. Amber has spoken in past interviews about how she values her peace and avoids unnecessary drama. Responding to every rumor would only give it more oxygen. By staying silent, she's choosing not to legitimize gossip, even though that silence can sometimes be misread as confirmation. Celebrity couples in rural communities often face an extra challenge. They're visible enough to be talked about, but private enough to leave gaps in the public's understanding. Those gaps get filled with guesses, and before long, guesses harden into facts for those who want to believe them. But in this case, the lack of public photos or joint appearances isn't a sign of trouble. It's simply consistent with how Amber and Shawn have always operated. When you strip away the speculation, the most logical conclusion is that nothing has fundamentally changed in their marriage. They are still the same couple who prefer the quiet of Alberta ranch life over constant public exposure. They work hard, support each other's passions, and keep the intimate parts of their relationship exactly where they belong between them. And while the internet may thrive on drama, sometimes the truth is refreshingly uneventful. There's no divorce, no scandal, no dramatic falling out. Just two people living their life together in the way they've always chosen. The divorce rumors didn't just swirl around Amber Marshall's personal life, they also found their way into the Heartland fandom's expectations for season 19. For longtime viewers, the lines between Amber as herself and Amber as Amy Fleming can blur, especially because both live on ranches, love horses, and value close-knit relationships. When whispers of a possible split from Shawn Turner started circulating, Some fans immediately began wondering if it would affect the show's storylines. Would Amy's love life on screen be impacted? Could her personal emotions influence her performance? These questions fueled even more speculation. Despite there being no confirmed connection between her marriage and the series, over the years, Heartland has become more than just a TV show. It's an emotional home for millions of viewers. Fans are deeply invested in Amy's journey, from her early romance with Ty to the heartbreak of his character's death, and now her growth as a single mother and horse trainer. Because of this emotional connection, any change in Amber's real life situation feels, to some fans, like it could ripple into the fictional world. The fact that season 19 promises big developments for Amy only made people more eager to link the on-screen drama to the off-screen rumors. Some even began predicting that season 19 might mirror the gossip, perhaps by giving Amy a storyline involving a breakup or a struggle in her personal relationships. But Heartland's writers have long made it clear that while they take inspiration from life, the show is not a reflection of the actor's private realities. Amy's upcoming challenges in season 19 have nothing to do with Amber's real marriage, and everything to do with the creative direction of the series. That said, the rumors did give some fans a reason to rewatch past seasons, looking for subtle signs they thought might foreshadow changes. It's the same detective work fans often do with shows. They love reading into a character's expression, a line of dialogue, or even an absence in a scene. While this kind of fan engagement can be fun, it also shows how personal lives can unintentionally feed into fictional speculation. Behind the scenes, Amber has remained focused on her role. According to crew members and fellow cast, her professionalism hasn't wavered. She's been just as committed to delivering the heartfelt, grounded performance that has kept Heartland going strong for nearly 2 decades. The truth is, the strength of season 19 lies in its storytelling, new challenges for Amy, the return of beloved characters, and the continuation of the Bartlett-Fleming family's journey. And while the divorce rumors may have added an extra layer of curiosity for some viewers, they haven't altered the core of the show. In fact, Heartland has weathered far more dramatic real-life events in the past, from cast departures to production delays, without losing its connection to the audience. This is partly because the series' themes, family, perseverance, and healing, are universal and timeless. They resonate regardless of what's happening in the headlines. If anything, the rumors served as a reminder of just how invested fans are in Amber's happiness, both on and off the screen. People want to believe in her love story the same way they believed in Amy in Ties. But as season 19 approaches, it's important to separate fact from fiction and remember that the show's magic comes from the hard work of its cast and crew, not from personal drama. So while the online world may continue to buzz with theories, the reality is simpler. Amber Marshall remains dedicated to her craft, Heartland remains strong, and season 19 is shaping up to deliver the emotional depth and uplifting moments fans have been waiting for. The real story isn't about a divorce, it's about a new chapter in one of television's most beloved series.